Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. My name's Anna Pirelli. The comments that you see here are my views, beliefs, opinions, and sometimes they are not even my fully formed views, beliefs, and opinions. However, they are my understandings. Please do retain an open mind and reflect on any of the content and your comfort levels. If your views differ, please feel free to leave a comment. Also remember, it is possible to disagree in respectful ways. My way is not necessarily your way and vice versa. You might also find that some of the content on this playlist in regard to spiritual or universal laws, it resonates with you, meaning it feels right to you, while other laws may not feel right or they may not feel comfortable. If this is the case, the information is either not right for you or it is not right for you right now, and it might never be right for you at any given time. It really doesn't matter. As an earthy and practical person, I can put my hand up with all honesty and say that I have at different times had the same feelings about some of the content in here. And with some of them, I still have a level of skepticism within my viewpoints, but I choose to retain an open mind about the things that I don't fully understand for a few reasons. Firstly, because I believe it would be supreme arrogance to think that we all know all of the answers while we have a body. And because what is right for one of us is not necessarily right or suitable for all of us, and I choose to respect the differences. Please do leave your opinions, beliefs. Feel free to argue the points in a respectful way with any of the content on the slides and even my interpretations. And if you feel that you can add clarity around some of the content, we would all love to see it. Thank you. For now, though, let's explore the laws.
All creation is governed by law. The principles that operate in the outer universe, discoverable by scientists, are called natural laws. But there are subtler laws that rule the hidden spiritual planes and the inner realm of consciousness. Contained within these laws, or conditions, is the true nature of matter. Knowledge of these laws has an effect upon the mental urges. Mind is the builder. Stay in full mindfulness of the application of universal law as related to self and to others, and know that in love all life is given, in love all things move. In giving one attains, in giving one acquires. In giving, love becomes the fulfillment of desire, guided and directed in the ways that bring the more perfect knowledge of self as related to the universal, all-powerful, all-guiding, all divine influence in life. Love is life. When we go back, merge with the God source, in some infinitesimal but profound way, we expand the mind of God. Our higher self always points the best and most perfect way, and it is ours to listen and choose or reject what we hear. It does not blame, but patiently tries again to show the perfect way, the loving way. All of creation pushes forth. We are ever becoming. Identity ever remains. Universal law number 71. The law of prayer and meditation. Prayer is a conscious and concerted effort to commune with the consciousness of life and its creator, and thus we speak to God. Prayer is also an aligning, cleansing process, opening up our inner selves to the source of all life and demonstrating that we are anxious for enlightenment and guidance. In prayer we speak to God, but so often we do not wait for a reply. Meditation is the freeing and emptying of ourselves of obstacles that hinder communication and allow us to channel the God force, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Meditation is likened to God speaking to us, and is the attunement of our physical and mental bodies to their spiritual source. Be still and know that I am God. In meditation, correctly aligned and unobstructed, the creative forces of God can rise along spiritual and physical channels in our bodies and be disseminated through sensitive spiritual chakras. Prayer is the precursor of meditation. Meditate regularly as we meet the living God within the temple of our own body, cleansed and consecrated.
So, with this one, obviously, we can see that they're saying that prayer is more than a concerted effort of communication with the Creator. It's also a matter of aligning, cleansing, and opening up our inner selves to the source of all life, to the Creator and Divine, okay? And in prayer, that we're speaking to God, but we don't wait for that reply. All right, so in regard to the comments of prayer being a commune with the Creator and speaking to God, I think most people of all faiths are going to agree with this. However, when we talk about prayer being a process of aligning and cleansing and opening ourselves up to Source, I tend to associate that with what we call the healing and invocation and even chakra balancing and alignment. So that could be yoga. I would also agree that within this process, we are also seeking enlightenment and guidance when we have our divine communications. But realistically, many people of mainstream religions, they repeat prayers or mantras. And in those instances, I don't see it as being a form of communication, but rather perhaps an expression of gratitude or worship even, divine love. So prayer can be many things. It can be a plea for help even. Also, then there's mantras such as the Nam Myoho, if I can say it, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. They're all means of expressing dedication and commitment, a personal commitment to align our will with divine will. So in many ways, I'm content here to agree with the paragraph, and also that basically when we're praying, we're doing a form of one-sided talking, because it's a conversation, but yeah, we're doing the talking and we're not really actually open to listen. I don't know of many people that actually pray with their hands open. I think there are some faiths that do that, so they pray and they're waiting for some form of feedback or knowing, but yes, I think that I can agree that when we're praying, we're not listening. I guess it's a bit like having a conversation with a person, that when our mouth is moving, we're not hearing. We're actively engaged in a behaviour. But yeah, what else have I got put down here in my notes? Just the observation that when people are doing mantras, they tend to go into a trance-like state doing them. So perhaps they are open to hearing while they're in that trance-like state. But anyway, look, I'm open to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment. Write a comment below. You might have something to add that I don't, because to be honest, my mind's just having a blank moment. So, okay, let's unpack this one. The comments about meditation and freeing and emptying ourselves of obstacles that hinder divine communication, that particular sentence, I suspect is more about an ambition and how meditation opens us up to hear the divine messages in an unobstructed way and aligned with the divine. Now, from my perspective, I perceive this to be ambitious, because I can honestly say that while I don't meditate like a Buddhist monk does, and I don't have a religious practice of meditating, every morning or every night, that I do meditate, and at no time in doing my meditation have I actually received a divine communication that I can think of, actually. What tends to happen for me, and obviously everybody is different, is that when I meditate and I open up and I make myself still and I just go into that space of being still, and if I have, because every time you do a meditation, you actually state your purpose or your intent of the meditation. So if I'm meditating for answers is where I'm going, and I'm sort of like, universe, tell me what I need to do about X and Y. This is the point that I'm making. At no time ever have I put that out there to the universe and then sat down and opened up to receive the messages and actually got a message while I was in that state. The way it tends to work for me is I get up and I go about my business after taking that time to meditate, and then as I go about my business, then the answers seem to come through intuitively to me. And this is why I say I think that the way they've defined it is somewhat ambitious. And I've never met anybody personally where it actually works that way. Having said that, though, realistically, when I have opened up to deliver services, I will on occasion spend some time before meeting with a client and meditating and going into a meditative state. And I wouldn't say that I receive a divine message, where creator sources throwing words into my brain or whatever. What has happened is I've actually received visions that people would say is inexplicable. And I can give an example of this. One that happened, it happens intermittently in this way. Everything happens differently for different people. But one that I clearly recall, I decided to meditate before a client came over, and I didn't know anything about the client. I'd taken the phone or the booking online, and it was going to be a face-to-face service. So I actually didn't even know that the client was going to be a male. But when the client arrived, it was very clear that it was a male and that he was not Australian. He actually came from one of the European countries, without going into too much detail here. And what had happened, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because while I was meditating, I started seeing castles, and of course there's not a lot of those in Australia, with turrets and all the rest of it, a bit like Rapunzel. And I was really getting into it and actually enjoying this meditation. Then I thought, oh my goodness, my mind's wandering. I didn't trust my own judgment of what I was actually seeing and hearing. And I thought, I need to stop watching these TV programs because I'm trying to meditate here and all I'm getting is visions of this stuff. And I made a joke to myself, as you do, I expect to see Rapunzel throw her hair out the window any moment. But anyway, the guy came over and it turned out that he was wanting to connect. Actually, he wanted to get information, but it was his grandmother had presented, and it was during the course of conversation. At the end of it, I said, hang on a moment. I said, do you have castles where you're from? And I was able to describe the castle. He said, yes, that's where we used to go when he was a child or whatever. So that became validation and confirmation for him that I was actually being the genuine article. So the point I'm making with this is, look, I've never actually received guidance for myself in the way that is described here, but certainly when going into the meditative state, I do on occasion get visions in this way, and sometimes I think that's referred to as remote viewing, whatever. But anyway, yes, I've got question marks around that paragraph. If you've got thoughts and you want to add to it, if you're one of these people that can just sit down and meditate and open up the channel and it all comes in like a divine download, I'm totally open to hearing about it. And just for the record, I actually believe that that is the way the Tantra Masters channel, that they open up and they get divine communication in the way that this is described here. But it's not been part of my experience. And with that note, I shall leave you to it. I shall say thank you very much for being part of my journey again today. If you like the content, if you like what we're putting up on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. That would be very appreciated. It will certainly help us with the algorithm here. Click the bell if you want to get notified, and have a wonderful, blessed day, and I shall catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye for now.